Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to this reading. Today we're going to be working with new moon energy, and we're going to be doing a tarot reading for that. So if you're new here, hi, I'm EBINOTTI. Welcome to the platform. Every moon cycle we do readings. We do tarot readings, we use oracle cards, we sit down, we tune into the collective that is the EBINOTTI tribe, and we just see what's coming up for the moon cycle. So I like to break that down instead of with the zodiac signs. We like to break that down with the elements instead. Do you see how I totally blanked there for a second? There's a lot of energy coming into this. Sitting down to get started for the reading, to meditate on the energy, to get into the vibe, do my bad habits, or get into my place of center. For the reading, I like to sit down and meditate for a second, and there was a lot of energy coming up for this moon cycle, probably because we haven't been together for a while. It's been a whole season that I haven't been here on YouTube, and now I'm back. So quite a bit of energy coming up. The first thing that popped into my mind that I wanted to tell you guys about was my brother, which is Aquarius, very Aquarian, that energy. And I just all of a sudden kind of tuned into this energy of the divine masculine, where they're at right now, the ways that they're wanting to communicate right now, what that means for the rest of us. And there was this observation energy that came in. There was also an openness to communication, an openness to an understanding. So you could call it curiosity or wonder, or you could call it that quantum relativity that we're all a part of. It's that ding. My mom calls it the buzzing in the ear. She'll like buzz me, you know, did you hear, were your ears ringing? Yeah, I bet your ears were ringing when I call her. So a little bit of that frequency coming up between divine masculine and feminine on all of the layers of relationships. Okay, for me it's my brother coming in. He's been estranged from the family for like a long time. We're not close. Everyone in my family, in my bloodline, that's kind of a thing, is we go off into the world. We aren't heard of for years. Nobody knows. And then we just ding, we just fucking pop back into your world. So a little bit of that, expect the unexpected when it comes to communication from divine masculine or from people in your life. Okay, because I don't know what's going on with the planets, and if Mercury is retrograding, probably, because that's a big Mercury retrograde energy where communication, all of a sudden, the impossible is possible. It's just like information comes, communication that you would never expect. You would have put money on the fact yesterday that you're not going to hear from that person, but today it's like a whole new world. So very cool, that energy coming in for us. I really missed you guys. It's nice to just sit, to hang, to have a smoke, to have a coffee. Cheers to you if you're sipping. You know I love these Nescafe sweet and creamies. I'm still on that one. And I've been all through the world of coffee. If you don't know, we love coffee here. I've been all through the world of coffee. Fresh, ground, blah, blah, roasted, fair trade, all the things. All the things you can put in your coffee, all the ways you can make your coffee, where you can get your beans, European coffee, South American coffee. I've tried all the coffee. And right now I'm on just garbage, just nonsense, just total nonsense with the Nescafe sweet and creamy. Don't ask, it's a thing, it's a vibe. So cheers to you, whatever you're sipping. Oh, I've missed you guys. I've missed just hanging out. We've got an incense going. I've got just a regular incense stick going for us today. It's vanilla bean. I've got our candle lit. I've got some Florida water on the altar. Thank you to Renee. Shout out to Renee, because she hooked me up with some Florida water, and I needed to learn some stuff about that, so I'm loving that. I haven't cracked it open yet, but it's on my altar. You know, we're getting there. Super snowy up here where I am. It's been snowing the last couple days. It's been a really weird winter. How you guys feel about the weather going on in your area for the last season or two? It's been weird. Hey, it's been a little wild. Well, we finally got some snow, so it's looking just like a winter wonderland outside my window right now. It's absolutely beautiful. Make sure you check me out on other socials if you like to see like aesthetic things. I do like beauty and fashion. I do all kinds of vlog stuff where you're gonna see where I live, what it's like up here, and I just love the natural beauty of the bush. I've been spending a lot of time in the bush when I can. I'm like a homebody. I'm living at home. I got a lot going on in my home life. But outside of that, I like to get into the bush and into nature, go sit by the ocean, go watch the clouds come in, go watch the snowfall. Yesterday, we took a drive through the bush after a big snowfall, and it was so amazing. It was so beautiful. So check that out on the socials. That should be up later today. Okay, so let's talk about this moon cycle. New moon is in Capricorn. It's been a while. But the moons have been so wild and totally trumped by the solar activity. You know what I mean? The moons have been wild. The last full moon was in Cancer. My moon is in Cancer, so it was like the most intense. It was the first full moon of the winter season. Super fucking intense. And completely trumped by the solar activity. Completely. If you don't know, we are getting just fucking blasted right now with solar activity. Like the sun is going through its own natural cycles, which obviously the timeline on that is quite blown out, quite large. And we're just in the thick of it when it comes to our sun right now. So getting blasted by all the solars, and it's just been a fucking hell of a ride. My eyes are doing all kinds of weird things. I have like a weird kind of like thing going on in my eye, and I don't know if it's because I got a root canal. A root canal, is that what it's called? Yeah, a root canal. So now I have like a dead tooth, you know. Oh, so many things. I don't know if it's that or if it's just like the ascension process, some ascension symptoms. I typically am not so afraid to see things, you know, if you're talking spiritual, physical health, where they meet in the middle. I'm not typically so afraid to see things, so I'm like, why are we focusing here on the eyes? Like that's slightly unsettling for my own self there. So if you've got any weird symptoms going on in the body or like illnesses, you know, focus on that spiritually in your meditations and just see what comes up within that energy pool that we have going on in the body. Okay. So for me right now, it's the third eye, it's the eyes, it's the sinuses, it's the throat. I always kind of live between the third eye and the throat chakra. It's just how I roll. But that's definitely what's coming up to be focused on in the physical body. And I'm sure within the collective right now, we all have, within the whole spectrum, we all have something going on in the body right now. Not surprising in the winter season. You have to know what winter is really about. It's about the reaping season, where you get to reap from a successful or unsuccessful harvest. A year's worth of work comes to fruition here and now, and the work is done, and you either have enough or you don't. And a lot of people like to rest and relax, or have to, because of illnesses that come up during the winter season. You're right on track. That is definitely part of the season. You're moving with the 4 natural seasons of nature. Others of us, we need to get a kickstart on the next year because we didn't have a successful reaping season. It wasn't enough harvest. It wasn't enough to coast through and enjoy the reset that is winter. So we have to, you know, start on next year. Early bird gets the worm is the kind of energy out here. And there's a very split collective in that sense. So a lot of us have work to do right now. And a lot of us, the work to do is get out of the way and allow for healing, for purging, so take a look at it and see where in the collective you are. Okay, my beautiful people, we are going to get into this reading now. I have one oracle deck picked out for us. Like we like to use the crystal oracle. So we're going to start with that for sure. And then we're probably going to lean into the dragons again. So very good. I wonder if you guys are going to see any of the incense smoke. There's an incense going right under the camera, but it doesn't seem to be on camera, which is fine. Okay, so I finally moved the camera up off the desk so I can shuffle on the desk. Well, like I need to without you guys wobbling all over the place. Okay. Let's see. Getting into the new moon in Capricorn for the collective. We're going to start with an ether element, the ether element reading, and just see what's going on in the collective, just like we like to. When it comes to the elements and stuff like that, I definitely suggest watching all of the elements that are called, regardless of what your sun sign is or how much water you have in your chart. You know, if you're being called to look at an element, look at it. Work with it in that way. Look at where that element connects in the body. There's a lot of weird ways that things in our life and in our physical healing connect back to the ethers. So having a good look at that right now and just letting things come up. Wild. Just letting things come up. These cards are massive. And just so funny because I have a little mat on my desk and it just like, whoosh, took off. She took off. Okay. Very open-hearted with this energy, just having a look at things from a new perspective, allowing new perspectives to come in, and possibly challenging our own beliefs, you know. Having a good look. No fear. It's a very fearless energy right now, and I like it. I like it. So let's see what the winter season and this new moon in Capricorn is going to bring for us with the ether element for the collective. You can light your incense, you can do your prayers, and get yourself ready. We're going to get started right now. Okay. Personal readings are available. I am doing personal individual readings still. So if you're interested, do message or email me. Okay, bottom of the deck, we're going on a journey, my friends, with sodalite. I love sodalite. It's a blue stone. Blue's my favorite color. It's all about the throat chakra, upper chakra kind of energy. And we're going to be going on a journey here. Let's see what kind of a journey this is. I've got a sourdough starter journey going. If you guys are about that homesteader or sourdough life, you can check me out on TikTok at EBINOTTI. Messing around with some sourdough over there. Am I going to get into like canning and all that stuff? Probably. You know what I mean? Like I want the skill set, whether or not I'm going to settle down at 36, 37. I'm about to turn 37. Whether or not I'm going to slow down enough at this age to actually have the, you know, homestead life. I don't know, but I got the time to learn it right now and I'm going to learn it. Always got a project on the go, guys. I always got a project on the go. So let's see what kind of journey the collective is going on with this new moon Capricorn. You got some new moon energy going on or what? You ready for that early bird gets the worm kind of energy or what? Or are you just curious? Just curious as to what's coming next. See what I mean? These are massive, just big chuggamunga cards. Okay, at bottom of the deck, we have balance with the tiger's eye. Beautiful stone. Love me some tiger's eye. Very protective, especially if you're going to do social things or going to be tapping into any kind of a collective. Tiger's eye, even if it's cheap, it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? If you're going to tap into tiger's eye as a frequency, you don't even need the stone. That's what I believe. We are on the earth. The earth is what produces all of these stones. So if you want to just tap in, you can fucking tap in to all the tiger's eye that exists on the planet. Shazam. Just like that. So we're working with balance here, which I love. I also want to just do a quick spin on our little moon cycle goddess here and see what the moon cycle that comes up for us is. Nice deep breath. Ooh, okay. So this is the moon cycle that came up right in here, going from the new moon to the full moon. Or no, sorry, new moon to full moon. That's how I like to do this one. Full moon is actually, I'm radiating as dark moon in this one. So going into the new moon cycle, which is basically exactly where we're at, because it's actually a few days before the new moon that we're sitting down and recording this first reading. So very similar to the energy that we are currently in, getting into that illumination. I'm just going to put these cards together over here. Okay, and the card that we got, hematite, manifest light. I want to just have a look at that for a second. Wow, hematite's a very magnetic, very grounding stone to work with. It's so fascinating. I don't know where my little tower of hematite is because we've just moved and things are in their place, but I don't always remember their place quite yet. So I like to keep hematite, especially magnetic hematite, around as a little stackable tower. It's beautiful in jewelry. It's definitely something you can work with to get grounded, but I'm feeling a polar shift with this. This feels polar. It feels like the balance in everything in the universe that is cause and effect. So maybe the grounding energy that I'm really feeling coming off of this is a bit of a heads up. You know, it's a bit of a heads up. That getting grounded right now, getting really centered and really rooted within your being in some aspect of your life is extremely important, meaning it'll do amazing things for you. It'll allow you to move quickly, move effectively, and enjoy the path. So smooth sailing ahead. Smooth sailing ahead, baby. With that grounded energy, which means there's probably going to be nothing, if you're on the ocean, probably going to be nothing smooth about it. I like that energy because it feels fun. I mean, adventure, journey, it doesn't just feel like a spiritual journey here. I mean, everything is. For the collective, that's just how she goes. Everything's part of the path. Everything's part of the journey. But there seems to be some kind of a physical adventure going on here, which is the energy I'm getting. It's getting me a little giddy, a little excited, but I'm a bit of a psycho. Like, I just love me some life. You know, I want to live it and I want to enjoy it. Excuse me. And that means that bravery is probably needed here. Openness is probably needed here to be able to go with the flow. These are, you know, this is what I do for fun. So if you're not open to that kind of change and that kind of a shift, the message is to be adaptable, to be grounded and rooted in your spiritual foundation so that whatever comes up, you are prepared. There's a preparedness here. Get ready for some thrill. Get ready for a little bit of life to come in. Get ready for some excitement and some decisions to be made and to get out of your comfort zone. And, you know, sometimes it's tough when you got to make those decisions. Do you go or do you not go? Do you say yes or do you say no? You know, how open do you want to be? What do you want to wear? Like, so get ready. If it's been boring, if it's been stagnant, if it's been slow, get grounded, baby, because shit's about to get moving. Okay, we're getting into the Dragon Oracle next. I'm going to see what's coming up for the Ether element under this new moon, Capricorn. The Black Dragon cocoons you so that your divine potential grows. Meditate, reflect, undergo a metamorphosis. Look at the protection energy there. Like, that's just so beautiful. This spiritually is telling you that you're very protected, just as a kind of overall theme and message. You don't have to be afraid right now if things are getting unstable around you and that makes you really uncomfortable. Know that your desires have been heard, that your prayer, that your heart chakra desire has been heard. If there's movement around you, that's why. Because there are obstacles in your way. There are things that you need to understand to be able to grow into. It seems like it's a big one. This isn't just a little mundane day-to-day kind of achievement. This seems like there's something really on your heart, really, really there, deep, deep within you. It's an important one. Okay, we got so many. First, in my lap, we got the Gold and Silver Violet Flame Dragon. Violet Flame is about deep healing, like the deepest of healing. This is spiritual stuff, likely throughout your lineage or your bloodline. It's ancestral and it's quite deep. So the Gold and Silver Violet Flame Dragon transmutes the old around you with wisdom and grace. That's very higher self. Very, again, spiritually protected. If you see the butterfly there, it's like, okay, this is huge. Look it on the ground, the symbolism. Like, this is a huge amount of metamorphosis. This is a huge, I'm going to put that over here with Manifest Light and the Hematite, because we actually got two more, Fire and Water Dragon and the Rose Pink Dragon. I'll let you have a look at those guys before we read them. So this is going to be on the other side of the altar for this reading now. The Fire and Water Dragon enables your life to flow with loving force. Life. That means living, that means doing, that means achievement, that means dream, purpose, fate, okay? Big, big. The rose pink dragon prepares your heart to connect with the higher facets of the cosmic heart. This is going to be fated, okay? We're going on a journey, okay? I just saw the funniest meme. It was like a Kevin Hart thing. Because he's got the funniest, like, when he's cut into memes, it's the funniest thing ever. And it was like when your spirit guide's telling you on a day-to-day basis to get your shit together, they're like, hey, no. Moves on. Hey, look at me, here, no. And that's how it feels. It feels like you're being guided by your spirit team to go on a fated fucking adventure. Is this going to be chaos? Absolutely, because it always is when the ethers, the spirits, and your team get involved on your fated path. You're about to move very, very quickly, my dear. Very, very, very quickly. So enjoy. All kinds of feminine energy coming out here. If you want to just have a quick peek at all the colors that these guys played out, look at that. Look at how feminine the color palette is there. Absolutely perfect. Okay, violet flame, allow for that healing. Allow for the people to come in and be supportive of you right now. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be the thing you need. On the bottom, the golded Christed dragon. See, the thing about Christ consciousness, or, you know, Jesus or Yeshua, or however you want to break that down. The thing that I always embodied about Christ consciousness is the compassion. It's the empathy. It's the true Son of God, meaning your own self. Because if you look at it, it is so... maybe not easy is the right word, because I don't want to like shit on anyone, but like it's so easy to understand someone else's struggle if you just step back. If you can just step back out of the situation. It's never as easy when you're the one involved, obviously, and there's emotional ties, like family feuds always just broke my heart. Like, that's the only way to say it. Family feuding always broke my heart, but then I look at spiritual fated paths, and when we're talking ethers, we have to do that. You know, if we sign contracts coming into this life, then your family dynamic was either going to be your support system or your challenge. And it's really simple when you look at it like that, you know, because unconditional love is taught to so many of us through the lens of our family dynamics. Maybe that's why my brother was popping up in my mind. Like, we're only a year apart, my brother and I, and we're the only children of our parents who were married and did the whole, you know what I mean? Did the whole American dream thing. So when it comes to these, whatever the adventure is that you're going on next, just know that the family dynamic or your childhood structure, or that is going to be a main part of what you're going into here next with this new moon cap. Capricorn has a really bad reputation for being devil energy, but it is the most senior of the earth energies. And I don't know if you've heard the saying, like, you can either be the good guy long enough to, you know, see yourself turn dark, or you can die young. It's kind of the energy there. So I think the bad rep that Capricorn gets is the same rep that humanity gets if you look at human behavior for long enough. It's like, are we sick? Is there a sickness in humanity and humankind in man right now? Or is this natural human behavior? Just like everything else in the universe. I was gonna say the internet, weird. Just like everything else in the internet, there is dark and there is light. You know what I mean? And from the darkness, we get our light. And without that extreme dark, we would never have that extreme light. So that's the toss up. You can be like a neutral gray thing, or you can be dark and light. So very interesting thing to be reflecting on right now with Capricorn season well underway. We've got a couple more weeks and we're moving into the second month of winter, and also crossing out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. It's gonna be interesting to see how everyone does in that, because the mind is going to get very activated in Aquarius season, and a lot of people just aren't ready to go there. That's why a lot of people have that seasonal depression in February, because it is the month of Aquarius, and Aquarius sees and knows truth naturally. It's their natural superpower. It's what they do. So can be very difficult to kind of year in and year out hit that wall of truth where you're still not happy, you still don't know what you want, you're still not there, you know. So there's a balance right now in the collective. There's a big message coming up for the whole collective between surrender and ambition. There's a huge group of us that it's time to surrender, you know, once and for all, to our fate, to who we are, to what we are, to where we're going. It's like an authenticity coming out in a really, really big way, especially for divine feminines, but not just. It's like all of man. And on the other side, there's this ambition where it's like, you know, many of us pretended we didn't have or desire power and recognition, and we're ready to be like, okay, that's it. I'm going to stop playing small. I'm going to stop moving slowly. Like the pace is set by everyone around me. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to set my own fucking pace. I'm going to go in my own direction. I'm going to start my own thing. Again, it's one of those things. Where are you within that collective? Because here it's one or the other. You know what I mean? We're extremely ambitious people. We're extremely ambitious in terms of, you know, everything that we believe and desire and have. So sometimes surrender is the message, and other times it's like, I'm done. I'm done with playing small. I'm done with going slow. Let's get this done. All right, let's get this done. Okay, let's step into the tarot now. I'm going to use the Tarot of the Familiars. If you're ever curious about the decks and stuff, I always try to remember to list them down below. If I forget, just comment it. Or if you have any questions, just throw it in the comments. I'll always be there to answer and talk to you guys, okay? Okay. Moving into the tarot now. Let's give her a shuffle. I thought about doing the 2 different views, you know, like where they have the view camera down so you can see the desk and everything that I see. Let me know if you guys want that. I thought about it. I don't want to distract anything on the screen. I like to keep things really, really simple. I already have like so many things pretty little things in the background, twinkle lights and little, you know, glitters and this flag, that poster, a million things I like to put in the background. So I try to tone it down, keep it nice and simple so we can be here together, not distracted. But if you guys do want to see the desk and the cards and the spread and everything the way I see it, just let me know. I can work on that. Okay, we're gonna have another smoke together. I'm sorry if anyone's triggered by the smoking and stuff like that, but it's like a sorry not sorry, you know what I mean? Like, we either vibe or we don't. I'm not going to apologize for the things I say unless I really feel like I fucked up, said something I didn't mean. Like, that used to be a huge fear of mine. I just heard a thing where Jordan Peterson was talking about that as well, but my fear of not doing things will always outweigh my fear of doing things wrong. So that's what it took for me to kind of get up and get her done, was getting out of my own way in that sense. And if I do ever say something, you know, that's just like wrong or I don't mean, like, I will stand for that, and that will be that, you know. So fucking be it. I'm only human. So give yourself some grace to make a mistake, like a child does something for the first time. There's no shame. It's like you're new to it. Even if you're not new to it and you make a mistake, you know what I mean? You just stand for what you did, and then you can be forgiven. It's as simple as that. I love you all very much. I hope you're doing very well right now. Taking care of yourself and what's important, and taking it one day at a time and just learning out here. Together we are just learning out here. Okay, a lot going on in the world right now, hey? Holy shit, man. There's a lot going on in the world right now. All our favorites, all the celebrities, all of our favorites right now. There's all this exposure and, you know, just fucking just chaos. How are you doing? How are you handling it? I always worry about people that are waking up to these truths for the first time, because it makes me really sad. It makes me really, really sad. I had a long time to wake up to a lot of these truths and to be prepared for the fact that, you know, people aren't always of the light and people aren't always good and stuff, but I'm feeling for anyone who's waking up to some of these really sad truths about, you know, people we all know the names of just not being the greatest of people. So how are you doing with it? I hope you're not too scared out here. I really do. I hope you're not too scared out here and you're just trusting in your own sovereignty. You know, and leaning into your own mortality, that every day is a blessing and every day it is beautiful that you wake up every day to this life again, and that you are who you are and nothing is forgotten and you get to continue on. I mean, it's a beautiful fucking thing if you really stop and think about it, and it can put a lot of things in your life into perspective. Do you guys know who Gary Vee is? I still tell this. I probably told this story like 3 times on the channel all throughout. But Gary Vaynerchuk, you know, media marketing guru dude, he's just the best. Gary Vee said it like this. He said, I take 5 minutes, you know, his meditation practice, take 5 minutes and I think about losing, or if, you know, somebody I love very, very much, my kid, my wife, my whatever, if they were gone. And I just sit in that for 5 minutes, because when you come out of that, it gives you this perspective, you know, you're not gonna be as impatient with that person, and little things aren't going to matter as much. And that might not be like a across the board good advice, but it is good advice for a lot of us who feel that we're taking advantage or not appreciating things as much as we'd like to. You know, that we're always unsatisfied and we always have to be doing more. A lot of us were taught that, you know, we have to do more, we have to be more, we have to produce more, give more, be worth more. And we wake up every day feeling like, you know, I better do it right. I better do it, get enough. I better, you know, give enough, be enough, think enough, all the things. And that kind of set up this really uncomfortable sort of hamster wheel that it's hard to get off of and allow yourself downtime, because sometimes that is the greatest progress, is the healing, or the clearing the mind and appreciating things for a moment so that you can actually hear a new calling. Like in the Men in Black, in the third Men in Black, I think it is, where what's his face? He's like, let's just get some pie. And Jay's like, pie? Like, you want to, now, everything's going to shit right now, you want to go for some pie? And he's like, yeah, it's pie, that's what you do. And in that moment, when you let it all go, the answer comes. It's a really simple reference, but it's difficult. It's difficult for some of us sometimes to really slow down, because in the back of our mind, it comes from the right place. It's like we want to do the best we can. We want to give the world and the people we care about and our, you know, the next generation the best that we can, but we're getting it our own way. Do you see? It's like, if you're lazy and you have no ambition, then yeah, that's a great mentality to adopt, because it's going to get you the fuck out of your funk. But if you ain't funky in it, if you ain't sitting around loathing and fucking blah, blah, blah in it, and you're always pursuing active mind, ideas, this, information, perspective, you are constantly expanding, okay? You are, every minute of every fucking day you spend in your interests, your hobbies, your thoughts, your emotions. I mean, you are constantly expanding. That is not stagnancy. That is not, if you're letting your body go to shit, then you're doing some weird Avatar thing, you know? It's like you just put the body in a coma for 16 hours and then go off and live in your mind and then come back to your body's falling apart. Like, that's fucking dumb, you know? Find your balance. Find your balance for sure. So that's the message there. And it's a big one. It's a really big one right now. To appreciate yourself, if you really are, you know, a fucking powerhouse when it comes to your thoughts, your sovereignty. You know, you will not be tainted. You will not be swayed. You can self-reflect enough to really sit back and look at yourself. Maybe I am wrong. Let me see what this person has to say. And then be like, no, definitely wasn't wrong. Intuition on point. Moving on. You know, if that's how you spend your days, you are not stagnant. Just make sure you take care of your body as well, okay? It's a very lovely thing to do, is just step away from whatever the fuck you were watching or doing on the screen. Go have a nice hot bath. Go have a run. Go sweat. You know, get your fucking lungs pumping fresh blood all through the system, and just, oh, your lymph nodes all flushed, and it allows your mind to move faster as well. So, you know, find your game, find your reason to take care of your body if you've just been up in your mind. And if you've been just up in your body, then it's time to slow down. Slow the fuck down. Quit your job. What are you doing? What are you doing? Buying into the Matrix, huh? Huh? What were you thinking? That's my advice now. Quit your job. If you're new, you got a lot to learn, but welcome, baby. We are here. We are here to support you no matter where you are on your journey. You know, it really is all love out here, so. Okay, cheers to you, babies. Let's shuffle up some tarot and see what's going on. I know babies out there just dying to play some guitar right now, and I'm like, no, I want to do a video for the collective first. And he's just like, oh, great. Go ahead, baby. He's the best. He really is. We got blue skies up here. It's been a while since we've seen the sky. So it's going to get cold. It's about to hit like -20 before the wind chill up here. Woo! When the sun comes out, baby, that's how you know it's about to get cold. Like the coldest. So I'm just hauled up at home. I'm going to cook some good food and do all kinds of projects, but I'm not going anywhere, not doing a whole lot outside or socially or anything other than tapping in with you guys. I'm going to revive my social media. So you can expect some style, inspiration, some testing new makeup products, and probably doing some beauty inspiration. I've been really on my natural, if my hair is not totally giving it away, I've been really on my natural game lately, so I haven't worn makeup in a long time, but I do love the skill set and I enjoy being able to put makeup on, so probably going to revive that pretty shortly. I really want to paint, and I don't have the resources yet to paint, so I'm like, I'll just do makeup. Just pull out my James Charles palette and get all Bob Ross with it, you know? I love you guys so much, and I've missed you. I hope you're doing well. I do. I hope you're doing well, enjoying your life. Okay. We got the Knight of Wands. Hello, gorgeous. Talk about on mission. The Wheel of Fortune, because this shit is faded. Central energy, another knight. The Pentacles, and I love this energy because he slows us right down. Thank you for that. And after him with the fourth card out, the Seven of Wands. Fire and earth. That's what we got. Fire and earth. Okay, we're going to start right at the beginning here with the Knight of Wands. This is ambition. This is your ambition. The warrior in you that wants to move, that wants to do, have, be, comes from fire. Okay, that's solar plexus chakra. That's all of your energy. So here, this is coming out first because it's a big message. If you don't have the energy, then surrender, baby. It's surrender time. Surrender to what you ask? Fate. Oh, man. Zach put on Evan Almighty last night, and I was laughing because God laughs at Evan in the movie saying, like, your plans. Oh, you got plans, do ya? He's like, no, I'm, you know, he's a U.S. congressman. If you don't know the movie Evan Almighty, it's so funny. He's like, I'm a U.S. congressman. I got plans. I got all this. I got a family. I got shit to do. We just got a new house. I got blah, 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 blah. And God's just like, that's cute. That's cute. I mean, the world right now, again, I will say this message, okay? There's a big ass game getting played out here. It's closing out. If you can't feel that, then just take a look at politics. Take a look at celebrity culture. Take a look at the way everyone's going crazy right now. Everyone's going crazy because it's the end of that cycle. So you're not a part of that game. If you're not a part of that game, step the fuck away. What's playing out right now is not your timeline. So you can be the early bird prepping to get the worm on the next game that's about to open up. Auditions now open, you know. Or you can sit back, you can reflect, you can recover, you can become enlightened, you can heal, you can download some new powers, some new that are yours. They were always yours. But whether or not you use them in this lifetime, activate them in this lifetime, comes to fate and choice. So making some big choices out here right now. And look at our Knight of Pentacles. This is our central energy. Our warrior of the earth element. This is the root chakra. If you have fear in your life right now, it's asking you to reflect. And look, the full moon here in the next 2 weeks, as we go through this new moon Capricorn into the full moon, it's going to be really obvious. You'll feel it. Anytime you get a fiery ass full moon like the next one we have, you'll feel it. You'll know. You'll know when it's time to move. You'll know when it's time to take action. That's what the nights are about. Warriors, masculine energy. It's always about taking action. You'll know. You know, you don't have to stress it. What you need to do is get aligned. Remember hematite? It's a really great way to look at it. Hematite is about grounding. It's about getting centered, getting prepared. A knight will always be called. It's his duty. You know, so he's not going to be sitting stagnant for very long. Your fire center is already telling you to get prepared with the Knight of Wands. You know, the Knight of Earth is just, once all the battlements are ready, the night before the battle is just kind of like chill. You can do what you want. You can do what you want and what you need to. And that's key. You need to be prepared, right? So you can do what you want and what you need to get prepared here. And if you really tap into the ethers, into your own higher self, into your own truth and your own authenticity, your heart chakra will tell you exactly what you need to do next. You're like, what the fuck does that mean? It means you're inside. You already know. The only reason you're in conflict is because you're thinking through the perspective of something outside of you. And that is where we get uncomfortable. Seven of Wands. It's like you are the journey and adventure that you're being called to right now is not only fated, it's probably going to be a little outside your comfort zone. It usually is. And what's weird is when we really sit back and think, especially from the feminine perspective, because thinking is a masculine trait. Intuitive thought is the balance between masculine and feminine. If we really sit back and think about all this craziness that's about to go on or is going on already for some of us, we know it's hard to explain even unless you get like some super grounded person you can talk to and they just seem to get everything. You know, shout out to the people that are just there and getting it. Like, fuck yeah, there's some fucking people that just get it. But for the most part, we're living in our world full of people, all different kinds of people, and most of them are not on our wavelength, duh. I mean, that's what it's called. That's what being special looks like. It's like, yeah, people don't get it. And that's okay, but deep, deep down, you get it. You know what's coming together. You can feel it. You can feel the body, especially my feminines out there. You can feel it in the gut. What the fuck was that? You know, even our masculines out here with good, strong feminine energy, it really is about balancing, whether you're female or male, balancing your masculine, feminine right now and just leaning into what's needed, especially the roles. Yeah. You can definitely feel people when they are intuitively aligned right now to their feminine, because they've got a calm and they've got a sense of knowing, and they're saying all kinds of crazy things like, yeah, it's my gut just kind of told me. I'm making decisions on my gut right now. You know, when you got that gut feeling, when you're being called because the time is right. Excuse me. Okay, onwards. We need one more in our 5-card spread. And then we are going to get our 5 clarifiers. And there she is. Okay. 5th card out. Wow, the 3 of Swords. From the 7 of Wands to the 3 of Swords, I actually really like this energy because the warriors are usually needed when there's some corrupt shit going on. And this is a corruption. This is a perversion. There can be all kinds of manipulative or dark kind of communicative energy that comes with a 3 of Swords when it's in your world. When this energy is in your world, it plays out. It plays out in you. It plays out in others. So this is a manipulation. This is a tainting of authenticity and truth. And this is what we guard against. The warriors will always protect against crooked, slanted energy. That's what that is. That's a slant right there. So we're going to get some clarifiers and see what the slant is all about. 2 of Cups on the bottom. In our relationships closest to us, this plays out, okay? New adventures and new journeys into authenticity and truth based on passion and authenticity. I mean, the Knight of Wands is calling many, many, many people right now to step into role. So expect a lot of things around you to change and people to tell some truths or, you know, the weakest ones will try to hide their truth, and that's why you get that janky ass energy, is because they're afraid. Some people, it's like, I feel bad for people where it's like they just don't want to hurt someone, so they don't want to tell the truth. It's like, ew. That's sticky though, my friend. That's sticky, because your truth is your truth, and you can't move like that. You can't not move because you're going to hurt someone. It's like, how about you don't commit to shit that you're not ready for in the first place? And if it was wrong, you know, if you did it wrong, just be out with it. Just be fucking upfront and out with it. The healing can happen, you know, but man moves how man moves. And I mean all of us as a species. So we're doing our best out here. And that's the key, okay? You don't have to protect so much the heart space from the 3 swords right now, because been there, done that, baby. You know, your heart was always so much more capable of protecting you than you were of protecting your heart, okay? So let the heart guide you. Battered, broken, bleeding on the floor, she is still the most powerful compass that you can possibly have, okay? So allow for that. The gut, the heart, the mind, all together. And let's get our clarifiers, please. It can be a heads up as well that you have to take a look at, you know, somebody in your life and see what's going on there. It's likely Capricorn season, the lie will always be, you know, the greatest deception. That's what that devil energy really is about. It's about the toxicity that we buy into. Okay, and the 3 swords in the heart, or the 3 of swords, the 3 of air, is really about the things that we've allowed to touch our heart space. So we have to kind of take responsibility for the part that we play in that as well. Okay, we're not bad people, but we aren't always as good as we think we are. We have to be honest about understanding why somebody does the things that they do, okay? And it's really hard. Possession is a really difficult thing to deal with as a human, so understand what can be possessed and what cannot be possessed in this world, okay? You can own your own heart, you just can't own somebody else's. Okay, under our Knight of Wands. Why did you go blind? Okay, under our Knight of Wands, going back to the beginning, we have the 7 of Cups. So it's been a bit tactical here on getting to the mission, getting to the purpose, really clarifying. I can totally relate to this, because emotionally I get all kinds of like, woo, caught up in this, caught up in that, my own desires, my own thoughts. But the mission, again, it's faded. It's when you line to it, you know it, you can feel it. And there's no question of the 7 Cups, which ones you're taking and which ones you're tossing. So for those of us still stuck in that uncertainty, now is a great time to lean into all of the things that are stable in your life and where you can control things and where you can't. So surrendering to fate, baby, surrendering to time, which is patience. It's about surrendering to the timeline, surrendering to what you got going on. Okay, clarifying our Wheel of Fortune, please. Just having a look here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, I'm taking them all. Taking them all. You were the... Oh my God, it really... Okay. Really went down there. So, under the Wheel of Fortune, the Sun. Okay, so... Like I said, we're getting blasted by solar activity. The sun's got its own fucking timeline that it's on. If you think for 1 second that your little problems are gonna outweigh the plans of God, the universe, the timeline, you'd be crazy. You'd be fucking crazy. So this is fun for me because I enjoy this. I enjoy this kind of energy where it's like 9-10, baby, 1-to-1, baby. This is the cycle. We get no say. We get no say in what's coming next for us. This is where free will is just kind of funny. You can stall all kinds of things in your life, but if this is the timeline, if this is the lifetime that you're going to be doing some shit, you're going to be doing some shit. So buckle up, Buttercup, because this is going to be a fun one. Under the Knight of Pence, our central energy, we get the Queen of Cups. Yeah, we do. This is the heart space, feminine, masculine. The Queen of Cups is so compassionate in her rule that to be any warrior in her kingdom, it's like the way they describe Snow White. She was so compassionate, so open, so understanding. But that bitch went to war. She went to fucking war. Why? Because the Wicked Witch was running rampant, trying to take her fucking kingdom. And she was just like, I might be the Christ consciousness, all compassionate golden light of the cosmos, but I will tear your shit down. I will burn that shit to the ground and salt the fucking earth, because you cannot run rampant in my fucking kingdom. Yeah, girl. Fucking get it. Oh my god. And the next clarifier, clarifying the Seven of Wands, which really is a defensive energy. It's like, I'm up here now and I got my fucking wand, and like, there's 6 of you motherfuckers, but if you think you're coming up here and taking this shit from me, it's gonna be a fight to the death. Justice, to clarify. Justice. This is that balance. This is that balance energy. Like, where is it? Where is it? Sorry, just having a moment here, guys. Give me one hot second. Ah, there. Okay, the scales of justice, baby. The scales of justice. So tiger's eye, balance, Libra, energy, and justice. You can look at that from any spectrum you want. But when I say we are called to rebalance things. Think of the way Snow White was called. It's the snow on the roof. Think of the way that Snow White was called. She had a very tortured life. It was really, really intense, completely unjust. It didn't touch her at all. Didn't even touch her. Didn't taint her. She could have complained and cried and been like, oh, I was supposed to have this and that, and you ruined everything, you stupid bitch. She wasn't mad at her. She felt for her. She cried for her. Talk about Christ consciousness. When you cry for your enemy as you kill them. Okay. Cool. So, as the Divine Feminine, my advice from my guides and my team, my advice is to be very, very compassionate and understanding, and somewhat tread carefully in how we discuss based on our own relief and our own fears what happens next in the world, okay? Because it's easy to pretend that we don't understand how something got the way it did, or to point and laugh at how pathetic, or whatever something seems. But man, Christ consciousness has taught us that that's almost never something you want to do, man. Like, out here in this universe, that's almost never something you want to do, because what goes around comes around. It always comes back around. Time keeps on ticking, and because of that, I just would be very careful about saying, some specific things about how stupid or pathetic people are here. Okay, just the warning. Under our 3 of Swords, it's a big one, the Tower, and we got a second card out with it, the World. Wow. And on the bottom of the deck, the 8 of Cups. So we're going to talk about the spirit quest and the spirit journey and what it really means to line up authentically to the mission. Okay. Under our Knight of Cups, the Knight of Wands, in the very beginning of the reading, we had the 7 of Cups, and now we're ending the reading with our bottom of the deck being the 8 of Cups. There's progress there, but it's a very big step from the 7 to the 8, okay? So, final message in the reading before we do bottom of the deck, our 3 of Swords clarified by the Tower and the World card. Yikes. Oh yeah, baby. So the Tower is divine intervention, and the World is the end of a natural cycle. So no matter which way you slice this, we got the Wheel of Fortune out here. We got the World. I mean, justice. There's, guys, there's no way to avoid what's going to happen next. And what's important is to have the perspective that this is divinely guided and protected, and the natural next step. it's like when you get to reaping season, the winter season, you can only do so much to affect that season, how things go through a hibernation or a death process and are reborn in the spring. All of the things that can affect that come from way the year prior to that season. And that's what's happening right now. Okay, this era and this game is closing out in a big way. And it's doing it because of how things were through the spring, summer, fall of that era. Okay, so this is winter on a global scale now. Winter is coming. Yes, indeed. So to what extent you want to do you. If you feel like you have a purpose out in the world, go do your purpose. But otherwise, just step back, and do what is necessary, what you're being called to do. And your fate and your destiny will be very, very evident in this season, okay? Now, there's always the timeline of slow and fast and ahead of the curve and behind the curve and whatnot. So don't worry too much if, you're a little behind the curve and you don't know until the very end of winter what the fuck you're going to be doing in the spring. Don't worry. The timelines are relevant, but it's not everything, okay? Final message, bottom of the deck, is the Eight of Cups. Underneath it, the Hanged Man. That's the enlightenment I was talking about. And under that, the King of Cups. Coming out for his counterpart that we saw centrally, the Queen of Cups. There's a balancing that's important to understand and talk about right now, is the balancing of your masculine and feminine once again. Because deep in your heart space, you will understand, if you are fated to or desire to understand, you will understand what's going on out here, and why people are maybe acting so crazy. A lot of things are going to fall apart. A lot of things are going to come together, and where your role is in that collectively is going to be up to you, but also fated. If you are really desiring something, if you really believe, that you're meant to do something, you don't have to fight the feeling, then that's what you're called to do. That, it's not some big joke out here and you're the punchline. I know some people feel that way sometimes, that, it's just, excuse me, their life is one big joke. But come on, we can all have that sense of humor, about our lives and about, some of the harsher things we've been through, etc. But this is really about accepting the path and waiting, getting prepared, waiting, and when the time is right, making that move. Because the difference between right and wrong, justice, Seven of Wands, the difference between right and wrong is very relevant, and it is your responsibility, your duty to the era, to mankind, to yourself, to your kids, whatever it is, to stand up. There's some really crazy stuff going on out here, so you'll know if you're being called to the fight. And in all areas of life, we are going to witness the falling of this kind of energy, this gaslighting, manipulative power. It's just not powerful anymore. Everybody has enough education, enough life experience, and enough self-awareness now to be able to see the energy of Three of Swords, the energy of that kind of manipulation and that kind of pain, giving pain, and that's what's falling here. So simply not possible anymore. Nobody wants it anymore. Therefore, it's not going to be relevant. Okay, so yikes, but yes, you know what I mean? We want the rebalancing. We want the masculine and feminine to come together, stand together, and be one. That's everything that we're going towards. Excuse me. Just having a look at the board here, seeing if there's anything else. Okay, final message. The wheel has spun for all of us, meaning if there was something that needed to be unlocked, needed to be seen, needed to be understood, you needed to be patient, time needed to pass, that wheel has spun. The sun has activated now so many gifts and so many superpowers in us as a species and as individuals that all of this action is going to be taken off of these activations. So I would assume in the last 6 months, 2 months, you've probably felt a huge surge within your spirit, within your body, within your mind, a huge surge, a huge activation. And in that, all kinds of new ideas are going to come from it. Whether or not you take those, run with them, or get tricked out of using them. There's this energy of trickery in the season of Capricorn. Okay, that's what the gaslighting energy is, when people are trying to get you all riled. You know, don't think for 1 second that just because you're a nobody, that you don't have a handler, or you don't have people trying to handle you. The programming that we talk about, that's what that is. It's like a handler that takes you off path and gets you all distracted by this nonsense that they want you to focus on. So that kind of energy, it's stagnant, it's stanky energy, but it is out here. It is out here to be aware of. That's it. That's pretty much it. There's something coming up here, and I can't quite put my finger on it. So give me just a second to have a look-see at what that is. I can like smell it, you know? What is that? The Wheel of Fortune, the Sun, Justice, the Tower, the World. I mean, it is way out of your control, my dear. It is way out of your control. But bottom of the deck, 8 of Cups, it tells you straight up, you get to make the choice though. You get to decide what kind of a spirit quest you want to go on here, because if you want to go, if you want to make moves, if you want to do something big, it is a beautiful time to do it. You have all the support you could ever possibly need. If you feel like it's time to make a move, central energy tells us, trust your physical self and trust your heart. You can absolutely trust this. If you know that whatever, no matter how crazy it is, if you know that what you're being called to is coming from a grounded, centered, compassionate, open heart space, fearless. Be fucking fearless right now. I love you guys so much. Okay, we're going to leave that one right there. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for spending the time on your own ascension process, on your own awakening. Thank you for creating this safe space with me to be here, to do this. I love you guys so much. I love the fucking tribe. I cannot wait to see what we become, what we create in this world. We are fucking here for it for like decades to come. So, mwah, love you the most. Enjoy this moon cycle, and I will see you on your next reading.